Hey, welcome back to the Parrot Side podcast. Myself, Skillz. We have 16 in the building.
Yo, what's good?
We have man like Rolz.
Yo guys, what's up?
And Babyface Kamal.
Hey, what to do, man?
Alright, cool. In case you're listening for the first time, the Parrot Side podcast, we all went to the same primary school, Greenwood House School. And now you know why we call it the Parrot Side podcast. We're here to sit down, mess around, and bant. And what do we do in the Parrot Side? We sat down, messed around, and bant. Alright, so basically, this podcast just us were chilling. What we up to these days? Kids from our era. What we doing? We divide into different sections. We have a Greenwood story, current affairs, and social issues. And we have a good one today. We're doing Christmas carols. And our main topic of the day: does every broken relationship have a victim? Question mark. Why do girls always make it them? Why, fam, that's the topic.
Wow.
That's the topic, fam. So yeah, nah, it's a good one for today. But we'll start with current affairs slash, you know what I mean, what's happening, what's up with us recently. And yeah, the only thing we have to say, I guess I have to say, 60 is a bit sick today. You know what I mean? It's a bit down. So he's probably not gonna say much.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm feeling down, man. So, I'll take the back seat. I'll kind of just chill out and see what you guys want.
alright, chilling, man. Get well soon, my guy. Get well
You're awesome, bro.
Yeah, get us on 60.
Thanks, man.
So if I didn't say it, now people know to say it.
Yeah,
Nah,
nah,
relax, are big.
Alright, Greenwood story of the day, Christmas carols. So if you went to Greenwood, obviously, like, you already know that Christmas carol. I won't even lie, Sha, like, Christmas time had me gassed, like, every time.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
It was
Especially with the decorations and all.
Exactly,
Like, you see how it was actually really nice because they would ginger us to bring decorations from home. We'll now decorate our classes.
That's looking a scam, Sha. No, why would they making us bring our own decorations? This is why.
Hey, they made us do that? I don't even... Damn.
I don't remember that, man. I actually don't remember
But they did.
that.
But come on. I don't remember seeing you in some of the Christmas carols, too.
I have a story for that. I have a story for that.
Alright, let's hear it. Go on. What's good?
Bro, I think it was primary 1 or primary 2, That Christmas carol, you go up early in the morning to go to Christmas carol. I woke up, had my bath, threw on my uniform, everything. I came outside my room now. I went to my parents. I said, I'm going to school. They said, what are you going to school for? I said, Christmas carol. I'm Muslim. So, yeah, you see the way both of them just started laughing. They don't even take me seriously. Like, honestly, like, they just started laughing. I was like, here, just go back to your room, man. I was so fucking upset. Because, like you said, these guys will ginger us for Christmas carol now. I did all the practice. Well, you guys, even though that's actually looking at that topic where I was singing Christian hymns and whatnot, but that's why a different day. But like I did all the practice, I was ready to come and.
That's actually true. We did do like practice, like we fully took that day seriously.
Facts. In class, we rearranged the classes.
We practiced multiple times, even. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of disappointing time. So that's why you never saw me at a Christmas carol, man. No, I was kind of bad.
Well, at least you practiced with us, so you kind of know what was on about.
I never got the full experience,
You never got. We did. Obviously, it was a competition every year. I mean, you can come. Wait, what was it based on? It was like primary 1 to 3 and then primary 4 to 6, something like that. Yeah. So in primary, I can't remember what we did in primary 3, Sha, but I remember the last 3 years. In primary 4, we did Drummer Boy. Yeah.
Drummer Boy.
Primary 4, primary 5.
That was primary 4 now.
I sure it was primary 4.
Yeah, Drummer Boy is the one where it's like.
They are not making us say boom.
Oh yeah. I remember that. The fact that I remember that.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So Kamal, I think, was still there for that one. Then the Drummer Boy / person, so I can be politically correct, was Youre. And
I said politically correct.
Yeah, I mean, we came last that year. 6.
Yeah, from primary 4 to 6 we came.
Yeah, we came last all 3 fucking years. Primary 5 we did what did we do?
I can't remember. I think
we did Virgin Mary.
I
You know, okay, now this is the thing. No, it was when we got to primary 6. We got to primary 6 then we did Joy to the World.
Yeah, we did Joy
and then we tried to remix it, but it just didn't work. And then
garbage. It was actually garbage.
We had a Dekule now known as DJ Kosh, by the way. This nigga dropped the rap in between verse 2 and 3.
The Dekule was in my class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
This nigga dropped the rap between verse 2 and 3. I was like, yo, like, we still came last.
Wait, are they calling DJ Kosh? That's crazy, man. I didn't know that.
That's DJ Kosh, man.
I didn't know that. Alright, mad.
But you know, he dropped the rap. It wasn't, we still lost, man. We still lost. Like, you know, the people that won that year, that was primary 5.
Was it primary 5 or primary 4?
It was 5 or 4, Sha. It was SS class now. Yeah?
Yeah, she was a year below us.
Yeah, so when we were in primary 6, she was in primary 5. That song that he sang when we were in primary 6, do you remember where it was for Christmas Carol?
I don't know.
Yeah, 3 bells go, Chingali go, some shit like that. Now, I can swear they wrote that song from scratch because I've tried to Google that song.
I'm not sure.
No, it's actually a real
I think it's a
Are you sure? I've never heard it before.
I think the thing is that they sang it like they used a different melody, like as in like they didn't copy what the actual song was in terms of melody.
Oh, like this, so they slightly remixed it.
Yeah, they made it like slightly cool. I forgot who was like they had someone who headed their whole. You know how you have like the teacher who's in charge.
Yeah.
Of, like whoever was in charge of their shit was actually musically inclined. I was like, yo, it is unfair.
It was musically inclined.
Yeah, it sucks because like it sounded.
Bro, how many rappers did you guys have, man?
They have better rappers come from our set in Greenwood, you know.
Yeah, you guys have so many, man.
2 of them in the chat right here.
The 2 or 3.
That's a fact.
Try to see move yourself.
Anyway, 16 really rap that much again now. 16 are more of Afrobeats. Yeah.
But you know, last time I talked about with Christmas Carol is now. Here's the thing. Now, if you guys remember, the parents they will call some parents out that now be the judges, right?
Yeah.
That I mean that's rigged, fam. Because like
It was always rigged. Yeah.
yeah, like because like if I'm a parent, I'm just gonna pick the class that my child is in that won. So I'm like, easy.
Well, you could argue that it was rigged, but to be fair, like most of the times, like the winners actually did deserve it. If you actually put that into perspective.
Guy, they clearly did bust out raps for nothing, fam. Like,
Guy. The performance in general was weak.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
It was weak. It was weak.
Wait.
Like,
But we remixed the track.
Yeah, we remixed the track, but like it didn't bang, bro. It didn't bang.
Wait,
That
no,
remix
wait.
was-
Bro, 60, did you write that remix?
What remix?
Did you write the remix?
In primary 6, Joy to the World remix.
Oh,
You
that shit was. I forgot what it was. It wasn't. We didn't do the standard Joy to the World.
Yeah, we did like that part where it's like like we remixed it. Yeah, it was lit, fam.
We definitely.
the fact that irritated me the most was, you know, now when you're singing that song, now there's a particular way you want it to sound.
Yeah.
So you know that part where they say like and wonders of his world, and we're not meant to be like, oh, what a wonder.
Yo, I remember that.
This is what they now say. We say, oh, what a wonder.
That really killed me. I just remember that. Oh, what a
Say,
wonder.
oh, what a wonder. Like,
That was
no,
a bit too
no,
much.
no.
They tried to harmonize the whole fucking.
Like, no, that was wrong now. Oh, what a wonder. No, that doesn't even sound nice at all. Like, nah.
You guys took a classic and tried to modernize it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it backfired.
Yeah, it pretty much.
It's like that Fergie national anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, man.
Well, yeah, it was fun, Sha. Like Christmas Carol, that period, like it was in general,
Christmas carols was still always a vibe.
Yeah, like Greenwood, they actually did like a wonderful job, like in making these festive periods quite remarkable and memorable. To be honest, like those are the things that like they don't really slip away from your memories. These are like memories. I'm like, man, I'm glad I got to experience this.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel. Was Greenwood a Christian school?
I mean, on a technicality, wasn't it? Like,
Was it advertised as a Christian school?
I don't think they advertised, like, they didn't declare it, but like,
yeah.
But like what? Man, those niggas low-key deceived me, man. When I think of everything, I'm like, okay, before class started, we'll do the Lord's Prayer, we'll do my
Yeah.
that's facts. Yeah.
And then we'll sing. We had those songs of hymns that we will sing as well.
Yeah.
That's true. That's actually.
We had him book.
We had a hymn book. Yeah.
Man, that green book. I think she was not even a Christian school. Like everyone was like, just Christians. It was like everybody had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, pretty much it was a Christian school, pretty much. I still remember there was even this time, I think it was in like primary 3, that we had this kind of like, I don't know whether to call it like a prayer and praise and worship session. They're not like, all Muslim students should remain back in the class.
That sounds weirdly familiar, but I don't remember.
I think it was in primary 3. I
actually think I remember that because there was only like
familiar,
3 or 4 of us. I remember it was me, there was Sophia, there was this new girl, this Amina, I think she was new at the time.
Sadiq, yeah.
Yes.
Sadiq, I don't remember.
Sadiq was not in our class now.
No, it wasn't in our class.
It was in our class.
I remember those 2.
Yeah.
It was probably Amina. It was Amina that was in our class.
Well, I remember Sophia and Amina. Those are the only people I remember actually staying back.
Yeah.
What's somebody run? You're 60, bleep that out. All right.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I only know.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, bro.
We under after.
That's pretty crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
And I was calm still. Obviously, our main topic of the day, like we said, was every broken relationship have a victim. Why do girls always make it them? Come on, what we say? Let's take it away.
All right, these niggas coerced me into this topic. Let me just put that I kind of know my history, so let's get into it, man. Does every broken relationship have a victim? I'm going to start with like a broad answer to this. I don't think every broken relationship has a victim. I feel like...
I think it's no.
So to me, it's no. I don't think every broken relationship has a victim. I feel like people make themselves victims in a lot of situations. But if you look at a lot of relationships on an objective basis, I don't really think... Because unless like someone cheated, someone did like something like, the normal relationship wrongs or just like blatantly deceived someone, I feel like most relationships just end because of differences now. Just have differences that they can't really reconcile, so they break up. So you don't really have a victim per se.
But in the spirit of, or in the sense of like how in like a relationship, okay, not necessarily, I won't say the word victim, but one person usually is like, it gets one, like one person suffers more than the other. I don't know if that. But that comes down to a variety of things. So if like one person has a lot more feelings for the other person, then
if one person is more emotionally invested.
Yeah, like there's more to it than just like someone fucked up and because of that the other person is a victim because this person did this to me. I feel like to be a victim, something has to have been done to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't feel like every broken relationship ends because person A did this egregious thing to person B.
Okay, so that second part then. Why do girls always make it them? Why do girls always make it them then? What do we think?
Personally, I don't think girls always make it them.
No, they kind of do. I'm being honest.
The thing is, I feel like
they do from a perspective of a guy.
Facts.
Yeah. You're probably saying that because you're a guy. And then, in terms of like probably being vocal, most times these babes are more vocal about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that like a lot of guys actually do it too as well. And a lot of the time, just like I agree with Kamal that, to be honest, sometimes it doesn't have to be that something was done to someone before the relationship breaks and one person will always be a victim. Even in our friendships too, like normal friendships, we all have like conflicts, disagreements, and everything. And then as a result of that, we just feel like, we may not be able to move forward on certain stuff.
No, I get that. But say like, okay, let me give you this example now. Like, because there was this story I heard of like a girl, that she was cheating on a guy. Like any story you hear of a girl cheating on a guy, have you not noticed she always tries to like justify it as if it's the guy's fault. So the question is kind of still relating it to a sense of girls who kind of then make it about them, because every relationship is inclined to where the guy has to like meet certain expectations You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, oh yeah, no, I'm like as a girl, I'm a victim because he didn't do blah 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 blah. So I'm out here cheating on my guy because he didn't buy me that, Birkin bag. You get me? Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people actually exhibit a lot of people actually exhibit questionable character. And Skillz, what you said is true because I saw something similar on Twitter. So this babe, she was defending her friend who cheated. Like, okay, so the babe was, I think she was supposed to get married to someone. I know. And then he sent a vendor to deliver something to her, maybe like a gift and everything. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, one thing led to the other. I think the babe fell in love with the vendor. I know. Raw. And the babe's friend came on Twitter and she was like, that this is what happened, that she knows the babe was wrong, but her man left her unguarded.
You see, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense.
What the hell does unguarded mean?
Shake the face.
Bro, that's what I'm telling you, man. It depends on who you're listening to. At the end of the day, girls, when they hear stories, are gonna look at it from a girl's perspective, and guys do the same shit. So when you hear all these girls cheated on a guy thing, and you see a lot of girls justifying in the comments, it's because they're thinking of it from their perspective, and a lot of them may have been in similar situations as well. So it's easier for them to like look at it and think, okay, this girl did this because of this, because they all think alike, like not all of them, but you know what I mean, like on a general basis, girls still think like them. Whereas guys, we look at that from a guy's perspective, like, nah, because we know when we do it, they're going to start shouting, oh, guys are trash, guys are this, guys are that. But again, it's girls shouting guys are trash. Keep those same comments and see if guys are shouting guys are trash or not. That's what I mean. It's just like the people that are commenting on the situation is going to reflect like the general conversation that you're going to be hearing. So I won't take it too deep, man.
Yeah, that's true.
No, wait, come on. So you personally, yeah, I mean. Let me put my guy on the spot. The relationships you've been in that have ended, have the girls made themselves the victim?
Say, let me just put this on record now. I'm a saint.
Because you know what it is? Because them making themselves the victim is one thing, but when they're not the victim, you then receive backlash. I mean, our guys giving you side eye on the road, like, I can't believe you did this. I mean,
so okay, see, on the way, I haven't been in that many even relationships, like to even start with. Like, I haven't been in that many relationships. If I really, I've never actually been in a relationship or what you consider like a full committed relationship. I've actually never been in one.
What does that mean? Wait, what does that mean?
Like, I've been like talking phases. Like I've been talking. Like I've never had someone like say this to my girlfriend, and I would openly say this to my girlfriend.
You've been in situationships.
Yeah, that's more accurate. So, really, out of all of them, there's only one I would say actually kind of did this whole thing. So like, you guys know the story, but for a general audience, tell the story. Obviously, I'll keep it on. I'm not really gonna out the girl to tell who she is. Just to make this clear as well, there's no beef, there's nothing. I've spoken to her recently, everything is okay. But there's some shit that I just couldn't quite understand, so let's get into it.
He wants to get it off his chest.
Well, I guess kind of, yeah. Well, kind of.
This is a safe space.
This podcast is a safe space, bro.
Guys, these niggas aren't safe, man. I'll skip the general life. How we go into relationship or whatnot, like it's not really as important. So, because it's all about how we ended in it. So towards the end of, cut a long story short, I wasn't happy. And we had a lot of differences. We have different religions, personalities, that kind of thing. So we just didn't see. We didn't have the same values on a lot of things, and that caused a lot of confusion, a lot of arguments. Just general shit that would just make you unhappy in your relationship, right? So, I approached her about it, we spoke, and then that's when shit kind of hit the fan. So, after we spoke about this shit, because she said that she felt like I was abusing the fact that she liked me more than I liked her. And I was like, that kind of makes sense, if you're talking from a you're going to be together perspective, and you're just gonna get away with a lot of shit because you know this girl likes you more than you like her, so you just try and test her and do things you know you're not meant to do, but you know you get it anyway because she likes you. But I don't know how much this applies when like the relationship is ending, you know. Like if we already had
towards the end, then
it's towards the end, it's literally ending. Like we've already had the conversation. So like if I'm already ending it with you, why would I abuse you liking me more than I like you if I'm trying to end it? Like I have nothing to gain, literally. So I found that then after we broke up, let's say there were like 6-7 months after, when I messaged her and we're just catching up and she was like, oh, I forgot about her like for 6-7 months.
I hate when people say that.
I don't know what people do. But like I didn't message you, you didn't message me. Like let's just leave it as that. Like
literally.
like that's why I forgot me kind of thing. And then the one that was very odd to me was this was last year. This was even around the time I was writing my exams. She messaged me, like sent me a voice note, and she was like, do I not feel like I should have apologized to her after?
Damn. You see, that's also in her mind, she's a victim.
Damn, that's her literally like in her mind, she's a victim. And this is like 2 years after it ended. And mind you, this was not a relationship. This was a talking stage that lasted like 2-3 months. Like this wasn't she was never my girlfriend. I was never her boyfriend kind of thing. So I feel like, do I not feel like I have to apologize? And like at the time, I'm like, okay, I can either confront this and be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Or you can just like,
I can just give into it and just so that I don't enter any long conversation. So I was like, okay, fuck it, man. Because at the end of the day, there's things you can do.
You're a victim.
You're a victim.
You're a victim.
I think I got a soundboard out for that. But yeah, like there's always shit you could always have done better in any relationship you're in. Yeah, that was like
life in general.
Situationship. Yeah, exactly. That was the first relationship I was I'd ever been. So there's always shit I could have done better. So I just apologized for that and kept it pushing, right? But like again, after that again, she messaged me and said I'm not nice to women.
No.
I think basically she was, I guess, using her own experience to say I was not nice. And she's like kind of covered it up to say I'm not nice to women I date, which I have no idea she can even know that because like you know about
right. But don't you feel like that's only because of your okay? Say for example, man like Rolz now, you know, Rolz he been around. Yeah, I mean, he been around. So Rolz, okay, say for example, you date a babe now and say she does you dirty, right? Will you not consider yourself a victim? So I'm seeing it from the perspective of Kamal, right? Because you were not in the like vibe of like you weren't like you said it too. You felt like she liked you more than you liked her. If you're in a relationship where like you feel like you're going to risk it all for this babe, like you're going to die on the line, don't you feel like if that relationship then ended, you would then be a victim? Do you know what I mean?
I think that really depends.
You're a victim.
Are you asking me this guy with the fucking sound?
I'm asking Rolz, but it's still come back to you.
I think that depends on how exactly the relationship ends.
I feel like Rolz has been on both sides, but go on.
Sorry. Yeah, pretty much.
A lot of sides.
Home and away.
Home and away. You know, we're playing Champions League over here. So I feel like I said, it depends on how exactly the relationship ends. I know. Because, yeah, if she did me dirty, definitely I feel like, oh, I was the victim. But if it was a situation where it was just as a result of maybe a misunderstanding or a conflict that could not be resolved, and it was just better for us to like go our separate ways, definitely you wouldn't feel like a victim. I know it will hurt you a lot because probably you might have liked that person a lot. But
I feel like being hurt kind of intertwines with being like victimized. Is that a word? Yeah.
No, I actually don't think so. Especially if the person has not done anything to expressly like hurt you. I know if
it doesn't matter, man.
But the person can always do something though. Even if they didn't do anything in your mind, you can be like, okay, they didn't show they cared enough. That's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all a matter of like individual perspective. If we actually think of it that way.
Yeah,
But
that's
left to me,
exactly. Yeah, go on.
That's the
me, I
perfect
don't-
way to put it, actually.
Yeah. Left to me, I don't feel like as long as we are still, we can still speak, even though everything might have ended on like, maybe like my last relationship now, like because of the distance, I know we just had to end things because like we're not finding it so easy. But like now we still talk, like we talk very well. I know. So I wouldn't say that, because the relationship ended and all of that I'm hurt and everything, so I'm a victim. So it all depends. Yeah.
So that's my bigger question to Kamal is doesn't it then it's based on perspective, doesn't it? In a way.
In a way, but not completely. I don't think. I feel like in my situation anyway, like talking stages are there for a reason, you know, like we were close friends, like before the whole thing started, like we were close friends. And you know, sometimes close friends you then develop feelings. Okay, so there's a bit of feelings, there's the attraction there, and then you have the talking stage. There's more to it than just, you know, little feelings and the attraction is there. And I feel like if you have a talking stage and then you feel or you see that you're not compatible during the talking stage, you should be allowed to pull out from the relationship and say, okay, I don't think this is for me. And throughout the whole talking stage, I never lied to her about how I felt about, like, I was always honest, like, and maybe I was too honest, actually. Like, honestly, like,
But that shouldn't be a bad thing. Though.
So like, I was really straight up with her, and I don't think her feelings or how strongly she felt about me should dictate how I feel about her, you know? Like, I should still be able to have my own independent feelings away from how she feels about me.
You shouldn't be compelled to really like her just because she really likes you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
On the same level,
that's actually
myself to like her on that level. Like at the time, like there was just too many things I did not like about the situation for me to end up liking her. By the end of the day, I promised her, because at the beginning of it, like, it was a bit on and off in terms of, do I want to even engage in this talking stage? Do I not want to engage in it? But when I eventually said, okay, let me engage in it, I promised her, like, okay, I'll give this a try. So even when I was unhappy, like, I honestly, like, I stayed through it just to see if shit changes. At the end of the day, we had like highs, we had lows. Like the highs were really good, right? So like, okay,
standard,
maybe one day you can actually maintain this high, right? But we never actually got there. And then when I eventually called it off, like she asked me, like, maybe like, I don't even know how, like maybe 2-3 weeks after, she messaged me again saying, like, do we really have to cut it off? Like, why can't we still be together? So my whole thing about someone victimizing themselves is, okay, if you were happy in this relationship, right? And if the last ever day of this relationship, do you know actually how we got into our last fight? She was upset about shit that was happening, right? In her life generally. And then she was like, the only thing she was happy and generally positive about was our relationship. And this was at the point where I was already like, okay, I don't think this shit is going to work, right? That's literally how we got into our last fight. So my question is, how do you become a victim of a situation that you were the happy one in, that you wanted to continue?
But that's the thing, though, is if you're happy with something, right?
Yeah.
If you wouldn't necessarily want it to like end, right?
Yeah.
Because in your mind, that's your happy place. So say in that example, okay, like,
how are you the victim of the relationship when you were the happy one?
I don't know.
Like I was, like I ended it. Like I was
asking.
Like, how do you become a victim of a situation that you were happy in?
That's true.
I get what you're saying, Sha. I get what you're saying, but I guess it's like it's kind of like a victim emotionally, right? Because then she suffered after investing all the emotion into it.
And that's the conclusion I went through as well. I feel like for her to like overcome the whole thing, she had to internalize certain things. And you know, if like to help her get over it, she had to like really think of all the shit I did to her that she didn't like, and then not necessarily hit me for it, but like, you know, have some bad feelings towards me to help her get over the situation. I feel like I'm okay, like I don't really care, but what I do care about is you disturbing me about it, as though I don't know what the fuck happened in this relationship, you know? Like, you can't twist the facts in your head to make yourself feel better.
But that's the thing, but in every relationship, everybody always has a different version, like, of
but it's still what happened though. There is still what happened.
Facts.
And what happened is there's still that happened. You get me? Like that's still a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I see. The thing is, everyone has their own view of how it goes, right? So, like, even if she was happy and everything, it's like essentially her being happy doesn't mean that. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate for her.
Yeah, carry on.
No, go on.
Her being happy doesn't mean that she can't be a victim, because maybe once upon a time she was happy, right? And then at some point she's a victim.
What point
Wait,
is that?
what? Wait, what? This nigga was getting young beans and then he left. What is going on? This nigga said she was happy and then the next day she was a victim. What?
I mean, you know what? 60 is right. Like in a situation where the relationship is ongoing, obviously you can be happy one day and then be a victim.
Facts.
You create false scenarios.
Relationship. How do you become a victim after the relationship has ended? That's what I don't get.
But here's the
Okay, if it's just after it's ended, right? Then that could just be, where it's like, oh, you're like, and now I'm not sorry to whoever she is. I'm not playing devil's advocate for you anymore. After it's ended, it could just be a case of like, oh, she's salty that like, oh, this shit is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. So that's
has to hold on to
exactly,
right?
and that saltiness can be intertwined with like being victimized. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, and I think I'm fine with that. Like you can do that, but don't come to me with that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, who else are you going to go to though? Do you know what I mean?
I don't give a fuck, man. Like, don't come to me. Like, you have your friends in it. Like, you have your next nigga that you're gonna go.
You have next man. Like, don't
Like,
come
I'm
back
good.
to him.
Yeah, like I'm good, bro.
Wait, no, okay, but that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, Rose can probably back me up on this. Like, when you have feelings for somebody, yeah, and you're really showing the feelings, and like, say, even if you're together, if the feelings are not being reciprocated in like the same or a similar way, like it fucks with you. It fucks with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I think I've been in that situation for like a long time, like where you feel like, oh, you're putting in so much energy, but
and that same energy is not being exactly.
Let me give you guys an example. So like,
man, I'm done anyway, so you can go.
During my graduation week now, like, so like we used to have like programs, used to have like church programs and everything. So there's one of my course mates, like her mom used to make like this amazing spaghetti. Like shout out Esther Ipo's mom, because like that spaghetti was mad.
Spaghetti. Right.
Yeah, like that spaghetti was mad, man. So like she was like, oh, her mom's taking some orders and everything. So my babe at the time now, I ordered some for her too. So I now told Esther that, oh, when she's going, she please help me give her and everything. So like, she gave her the spaghetti now, I know. And like, we were texting, and then she sent me a message that, oh, she got the spaghetti, and like, thanks, but it wasn't necessary. And
raw
guy, like, like when I saw that message, I was in flames. I was in actual flames because when you do something nice for someone,
broke your back to get her that spark.
Let me say I break my back, but like it was just a kind gesture now and everything. Because say you like person now, you just try to do nice stuff. I know, and like the fact that she said it wasn't necessary, like it was really, really painful.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so wait, now pause. Now think of it from her perspective. In her perspective, she won't feel like she has said anything that bad.
Yeah.
I mean? But for you, because you're so emotionally involved, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It will pain you. Now, in that relationship, when it ended, did you not feel slightly like they played me a little bit? Like, Jane?
Nah, not really. Because, anyways, that was a story for another.
Because that didn't go how you intended, bro.
Not really, because like the circumstances around the end of the relationship were quite different from just she no chop my spag. But like
stop the cap.
But like basically, yeah, it depends because you can't just isolate certain moment and use it to just generalize. It's a very, very dangerous thing to do in a relationship. Because if it's like that, you'll be looking for each bad thing. Because definitely, like your partner, your spouse, and everything, everybody has their own shortcomings. They have stuff that they might do. You have misunderstandings and all. But like, you cannot now be, each time something goes wrong, let's say the relationship now ends or something, you now start picking them one by one. I know. I don't think that's fair.
I get what you're saying, Sha. But my thing at the end of the day is that feeling of like when you invested emotionally into something like a whole lot and then it's gone, like that emptiness, that sadness, is closely related to the feeling of being victimized. That's what I think.
I mean, I feel you. It's like, yeah, when you're emotionally invested into something and then all of a sudden it's gone, or you feel like one person didn't put in as much effort as they should have, you feel a certain way. I can get you, but is being a victim the only emotion or?
But here's the thing, it's also because of I get what you're saying, but it's also, don't you feel like most people make it seem like in every relationship somebody has to come out a winner and a loser, as in like usually, like somebody always has to have, this person suffered more, therefore, you know what I mean? That's usually always how it goes. Somebody always needs to like.
So the question is, do you guys ever think, and this relates to what he just said, right? Do you think that in relationships, it like doesn't matter, there's always one person that likes the one person more than
100%?
I feel that's facts. Yeah. There might be always one person that likes the other party more. I know, but like,
it's not necessarily a bad thing. But
yeah, definitely, it's not a bad thing, especially if you guys know how well to like balance up, and you can. It's not a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when they start to feel like, and like what Kamal said, which is very, very important. Yeah, like I don't feel like because you like me more, you should now impose it that, yes, I like you more, so this is how you should always, like, I feel like you should allow the other person to grow to meet you at that point.
Fox, this guy spits it.
Because if you're just trying to overimpose and say, yes, because I like you this high,
you must also
like me this high.
Bro. Yeah. So when do you experience their shortcomings? Like, don't just fucking shoot them down. I hope my ex is listening. Don't just fucking shoot them down. Don't just fucking shoot them down. Let me grow and get there. You get me, fam? Like,
yeah.
No, I don't know how many times I actually use that same phrase, man. Like, honestly, it's true. You can't force it. Like, at the end of the day, you just can't force it. Like,
exactly. You can't force it.
You know, comes like that.
That's very true.
But that's just it. Like, for me, like, literally, even the relationship I was in, the last one, like, when it was over, everybody always giving me dirty look, like, I can't believe you did this.
You feel like she told all her friends everything, have you?
Do you know what I mean? Exactly. And it was one of them ones where, like, people, when they saw me and the babe together, like, a lot of people were shook. They're like, we can't believe it's you that she picked. So I already didn't have that wasn't great for me already. You know what I mean? So when the thing was now over, they were like, you? Like, and I'm like,
Skillz, when I told you who the person was, what was your reaction?
Oh, that's facts. You know what I mean? You know? I was like, you?
Yeah, like, really, what? Nigga. Like, yeah.
I was shook, fam. I was like, for real? Hey, shit.
Really, nigga?
Well, nah, it's calm.
You guys killing it with this sound problem. All right, niggas. Thanks for listening. That's been your boys. We were talking about whether every relationship has a victim. Skillz says, why is it always the girl?
I'm just quoting the topic.
Nah. So yeah, just to give you guys a quick summary of how all of us feel, man. I'll start you off. I'll just say, I don't think every relationship has a victim, but I feel like people make victims out of themselves on a subjective basis, you know? Skillz, how do you feel?
Yeah, now I would agree with that to a certain degree. Yeah, not everyone, every relationship that's broken has a specific victim. However, I do feel like, that feeling of being sad and being emotionally empty, it then kind of intertwines with being victimized. That's what I think, Shy. So I don't know, Rose, what you saying?
Yeah, well, first of all, avoid creating fake scenarios in your head. This is to everybody. Avoid creating fake scenarios in your head because you just put too much sadness. But yeah, like not everybody in a relationship is a victim. Sometimes you end things on a good note, probably as a result of misunderstandings and all of that. Like when I mean a good note, like you guys are still cordial, pretty much. So yeah, like
let me just quickly add to what Rose said. Also, I get there's a thin line between learning from past relationships and healing or whatever and accepting new ones. But please, don't always project what your ex did onto your new nigga, man.
Yeah.
Like, keep it.
Facts.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
Give everyone a
take
chance.
who they are. Like, yeah, give them a chance. And like I said, I get it's a thin line between being played and, you know, then if it happens again, you see, okay, you saw the same thing. I get that, but like, if you're open to love and you're open to finding someone, it's a risk you have to take. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my man. 60, what you said?
60, call out your ex now.
Yo, so, first of all, what if we're all just victims? What if everyone is really just, you know?
Yeah, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? Yo, what is he got? What?
Listen, it's a mess now.
No, wait. Let's everyone. What if we're all victims? What if, you know?
Oh, this nigga wants to be. Yo, what's going on here?
Just victims in this little thing called life.
This nigga tries to be. Nah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I feel like, first of all, you're a victim. And second of all, like, yeah, you know. So I feel like I agree with you guys. Don't make yourself feel like you're the victim just because you're salty or you're angry or whatever. And I don't think every relationship has a victim. I feel like there are a lot of relationships where people come out of it and everyone's good and no one feels like, oh, you have the one up on each other. But you know,
66, I hope you're listening.
Personally, I feel like where people do get victimized is when, you know, they buy fake. Like that. That's pretty bad. Like, don't buy fake. But anyways, yeah, that's all from me, guys.
Oh, they called him out. Oh, shit.
You know. Let's leave it as that. If you know, you know.
We're gonna leave it at that. Obviously, to outro it, it's been your boys. Yeah, I mean, thanks for listening. Now, pause. Because I know Rose said it last time about sending us feedback. First of all, don't send any fucking feedback. Second of all, I already know what niggas is going to say, like, oh, it's 4 people. You guys talk over each other sometimes, blah, blah, blah. We don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because if, not really, that's one. And two, when 4 people are in a room panting, this is exactly what it sounds like. Don't expect some professional shit. This ain't professional. We're here to fuck around.
Yeah, I feel like this was fine, man.
Cool. That's it for me.
And
all right, you guys, follow us on Instagram at the Parrot Side. Any business inquiries, the Parrot Side at gmail.com.
Run us our chicks.
Yeah, thank you for listening, man. See you guys next time.
I see you guys, man. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the team? What's this?